All right, we're back again live on Ecamm. So right now we're doing a test. I got the Sony ZV1 and I also am using my old iPhone and I'm bringing that in through NDI and all right, yes, I'm bringing that in NDI and I'm just checking my Ecamm preferences to see how good my speed is right now. I did try to up the quality to 4K on the video side. Not that I'm trying to break it, but I just want to see as how much I can put in. And that's when I did add this extra camera scene that I'm using in the background. So it's kind of neat because I can bring in the old iPhone through Bluetooth using NDI, and I think I'm using Filmic Pro to get a clean HDMI out. But yeah, before my phone dies outside or before the ZV1 dies, I just want to kind of push the boundaries a little bit and kind of play around and test this Ecamm software out. So I think it's really neat because right now on the horizontal, I have the iPhone pretty much streaming from outside, and I'm using the Sony ZV1, which is going into the Camlink 4K to come up as a video feed. So on the mobile side, you'll see the same thing. I got the iPhone as the backdrop. It's a video streaming out to the yard, and I just put myself in a circle using the Sony ZV1. So really interesting what you can do with this. I'm definitely having a lot of fun with this, playing around and testing it out. I'm not sure what you've come across yet that you've really enjoyed, but I think having this option, I wish my phone was charged because I could have it out there a lot longer as a remote view. But yeah, I think this opens up a lot of possibilities, and there's a lot of room for improvement still. So kind of just going through this testing phase with Ecamm, playing with different scenes, playing with different overlays, adjusting the audio, and yeah, I want to shout out one of the comments that was just dropped. Whoever watched the video, I think it's Earth. Let me see if I can put it up here. Where is this? Comments. I really want to shout out the people that took the time to make a comment or watch the video, even though I think this is one of the test videos, so it's probably not one of the greatest or best videos as we're just kind of going through it. But let's see. I think the first time I tried to do one of these live tests, the sound didn't even come on, so I was without sound. So I apologize for whoever was watching that one. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen if the iPhone camera outside dies. It's going to go to a blank screen. Might have to choose another camera source. All right, where is that comment? And maybe it's here, live test. So I won't play it, but I will shout out to Earth Cartel, who left a message and said, "Cam great, overlay great, audio a little low. Good luck." All right, appreciate it. Turn the audio up. Hopefully it's not too loud. I got it on about 80 right now with the sound level on the Ecamm setting, but I did turn it up on the Rodecaster Pro. So hopefully it's all good now. But yeah, what's really cool with this scene right now is you're seeing a live stream out in the yard. This is a wireless. I'm bringing the feed in through NDI using my old iPhone 8S Red Edition. Yeah, just threw it on like a mini tripod and threw it out in the yard. So yeah, I think that's a super dope, cool feature. I don't know how many people use this feature, you know, in their yard. I think a lot of people do it more of a like a BTS, like a background cam, which is cool too. I think that was my initial thought. And then I was like, let me see how far I can push this. If I'm connected right now through the Ethernet and the iPhone feed is coming in through Wi-Fi, can it still handle it? Because right now the horizontal feed is at 4K and the vertical feed is at 1080. So I'm not sure if there's any lag or if there's any glitches, but I mean, I'm kind of just putting it through the test right now. So I do want to try to see if I can change the angle of this camera. So let me see if I can do that. So let's go to a different scene maybe. Let's see what I got over here. How about let's just update this scene. Oh, that might be the camera that died. Yep, I think it died. So at least we know what happens. It just says select the camera source. So let me get into, let's see. It's not letting me pull that one up. Let's see. Nope. All right, we'll go with 4K for now. And we will update the other side. So let's get rid of this small one. Actually, you know what? Let's keep the small one. How about we'll do that? That's pretty cool. All right, let's do that. All right. So now I'm a tiny bubble. If you get the reference, drop a comment. But all right, cool. Yeah. So this is the updated scene. I'm now in a small bubble, taking up a small portion of the screen on the horizontal and on the very bottom of the vertical. I can slide myself up and it snaps into place on the vertical, and I will update myself to being in the middle of the horizontal. I can even drag it out and make this bubble bigger. All right, let's drag it out for the bubble for the other side too. All right, so now we're in the bubble. So this is another test with Ecamm Pro, a live streaming software and video production tool. If you think this is pretty cool, as I do, then there's a lot more to check out with the Ecamm fam. And if you like what you see and you want to try it out, I do have a link in the description. So, but yeah, I'm checking the comments, seeing if anyone wants to drop in. You know, I kind of want to keep it too long. I think we'll plan to go a lot longer later, but I think this is a good test for now. So this is part of that 7-day challenge with Pat Flynn and Ecamm. And yeah, I just want to shout out to everybody in the Ecamm community. And I really like how everybody is at different levels. So wherever someone is coming into Ecamm, whether they're new or more professional, and depending on what their needs are, they can find somebody in the Ecamm community that matches up with maybe what they're looking for, as far as skill sets, theory, idea, whether their questions are more content based or technical based or more in theory. I really think the Ecamm community is one of the best on helping people to show up and start to feel more confident and comfortable using the tools and software to go live and provide another option and way for people to communicate. I've dealt with many businesses and business owners and staff, and a lot of it comes down to communication. And we do understand that people communicate differently, but usually there's just one type of communication. So with programs, softwares, and opportunities to use video production, and now that the ability for anybody to go live and use these tools, it's just a way for us to highlight things that are important to us, tell the stories that are more meaningful or that are untold, and also providing another communication tool and a way for people to connect out there. I think one of the greatest things in this modern day and age is the ability to provide better information together. So, tools like this are, I think, going to become more necessary for the people that are going to use their platform to speak on something or to use their platform to highlight what other people are saying. So either way, it's all part of this digital real estate that is, it's ongoing, just as much like, land is being created. There's ways to utilize the land, to use it as a way to put out your message, your platform, or again, to shine light on what other people are doing, because not everyone is advanced to get this together. But I will say that, there are a lot of opportunities of research and resources now. So, Ecamm is definitely one. If Google is a huge search engine, YouTube is another huge search engine. So whatever you type in and you're looking for, you might come up. The reason why I'm going live is because there's some things that I've seen that maybe hasn't come up or I haven't found it yet. So there might be things that I'm going to cover in future lives. But yeah, this is part of the 7-day challenge that Ecamm and Pat Flynn put together. I do want to shout out to Doc Rock. He's the homie who's been at this for a while now, since the beginning of it. And I've known him for a very long time prior to that. So, it's really awesome to see people like him, getting their flowers, getting the credit that they deserve, and helping the people that they're looking to help. I know he's really been consistent at this, and that's why, I want to, shout him out and, tell people or not tell people, let people know if they're really looking to expand their online live game, he's a great place to start. And there's other people in the Ecamm community that I've followed for, since the beginning. And I would say that the entire community is very welcoming. So if you don't have Ecamm yet, you do have to have a Mac. So right now I'm using it on a Mac Mini even. There is some bare minimum things you do need to go live. And I feel like if I can do it, you can do it. So hopefully, some of my people that I know see this and they actually see it as an opportunity for them to get up, because it's very possible. And I think everyone should be utilizing these spaces a lot more. So hopefully, if you see this and you know me, tap in, let's get going. If you've seen some of these videos, you've seen from the first video to now how really bad and terrible that first video was. But you know what? You got to get it out the way. So, I got it out the way and moving on. And now look, bringing in feeds from outside, right? So, the Ecamm platform and software is amazing. All these upgrades and stuff, right? Right now I'm keeping it on one scene, but, as if we transitioned out, the live motion, is a really cool, smooth camera effect. So anyway, this is probably longer than I've ever talked on this live, so we'll just jump off and we'll jump on back again on the next one. Thanks for stopping in. Drop a comment what you like, what you don't like, and your thoughts. I appreciate it.